Meet Pat. Pat stands for Public Accountability Team.
Then Liverpool. So Liverpool, again, there were significant issues. There was a police investigation into fraud. Then there was an intervention not announced in May 2021, so that's going 2.5 years old. There were significant governance failures. So basically, reports did go to legal to be cleared, but they were basically told they had no choice but to approve them, and they were given like 10 minutes to look at them. So that was quite a significant problem, and so again, that's counts as an intervention.
Right. So another interesting council. Just so everybody knows, I just want to get this in, Lance. This is a presentation from Essex County Council's YouTube channel called Failing Councils, What Can We Learn? And we're learning quite a bit, actually, aren't we, Lance?
Yeah, I mean, they're identifying, I mean, interestingly, you know, they're identifying a number of councils over the last, only in the last few years, frankly, that are utterly out of control. Probably such that they can either pat themselves on the back, and they do later on in the meeting, basically start congratulating one another on how wonderful they are, or their yet to be discovered problems. And therein lies, I think, something that came out of the last one. It's, you know, there but for the grace of God with a lot of this stuff, that frankly, Liverpool was superb, worth focusing on for a few reasons. It's just the extent of just how they failed their residents across the board. I mean, planning, highways, regeneration, property management. I mean, probably but to name a few.
Yeah.
That the Merseyside police have investigated them for fraud, bribery, corruption, misconduct in public office. Interestingly enough, the guy doesn't go on to detail the result of that investigation.
No.
I have a questionable opinion as to the standing of Merseyside police.
What, you mean it might not have gone anywhere?
I mean,
floating around.
It's maybe, yeah, as what was it? You know, like a reference, a police crime reference number.
Yeah.
And then a discussion about, you know, how Liverpool Football Club might be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But what was really interesting, specifically about this one, was the last comment sort of thing at the end. Just to go to, I mean, there's why Pat is here is because of the lack of accountability.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, specifically, he mentions the whole legal department of Liverpool City Council, which I imagine is not a small thing, is basically being given the reports that they're obviously there to scrutinise themselves, being given effectively railroaded 10 minutes to look at a report.
Yeah.
The question is that was happening is one thing, but where were the legal departments in their obligation to the public? Why were they not elevating this? You know, how could that at any point in time have been a reasonable way of going about, you know, for them themselves? Obviously, we've added Pat and his out of office, which is because, you know, whistleblowers is I think it's a bad idea when the whistleblowing button is housed within the organisation.
Within the organisation, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's no good.
I'm not saying that there aren't ways of stepping outside of that. You know, you can whistleblow to the financial authorities, you can whistleblow to the police. I just don't think that these institutions now, they don't serve purpose. So all they're really doing, will they be red flagging up either the individual, or they'll serve as a warning indicator for the authorities themselves to bring their house into order, as opposed to let's actually go and let's properly investigate these people. Let's get proper accountability back. Because if we haven't got accountability, if people are not getting sanctioned, losing their jobs, spending time in prison, then they're just going to continue, which is why the public need to be you need to be able to whistleblow to us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, come to us and tell us what
the hell's going on.
What's going on? Yeah. Could it when you were saying about the legal department, the legal department have been sort of lent on not to do their jobs properly.
Yeah.
Could there be some bullying going on as well? Because I think that there is still an amount of bullying going on within themselves.
Yeah. Well, look, they bully the public.
Say again?
They bully the public.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
This is. I mean, it's pattern behaviour. I mean,
yeah.
We're dealing with psychologically damaged people to some extent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be it the councillors and the officers. These people have got authority places in their mind, which
when you go higher up in the council, I think that you've got that belief that they're untouchable.
Clearly, I mean, they're untouchable. Why? Because we don't see any accountability. If you don't see accountability, it's going to reinforce your belief that you're above the law.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And if the police aren't doing their fundamental job, affirmation, attestation, oath, whatever you want to call it, it's to the law.
Yeah.
And I doubt very much that we know that we've got a 2-tier, 3-tier law system going on.
Law system, yeah, absolutely.
Where me and you, we're absolutely accountable to the law. It will land on you like a ton of bricks. I mean, so I don't advocate particularly for breaking the law. In fact, I don't advocate it at all. But these people, they clearly aren't. Why? They're all protected. Why? Because we've lost all forms of accountability. People aren't answerable to anything anymore, so get away with it.
Yeah,
your politicians are rotating. What portfolio have I got? What portfolio can I make a mess of? This time, duck out for a couple of years and come back with a new one. Let's just whatever.
Well, I think I think it's well worth listening to things like this, or even going to your own council and just looking up some of the scrutiny committee meetings, or even have a flick through. I only found this by flicking through. I didn't listen to the whole thing, mind you. It was early on in the meeting, but we need Pat up in Liverpool basically, because
I mean,
have a field day with this lot.
Yeah, I mean, if we're not going to be there, this is never going to get resolved.
No, exactly. And look, I mean, look at what you've got to go on already. Yeah, it's it's all laid out for you at the end of the day.
I mean, where's the pressure on the police?
Look, that's my point. We don't know what's going on in Liverpool. Who's on top of this in terms of the public, but we haven't heard nothing. So
it's significant governance failures. So who's lost their job?
It's laughable.
Yeah. Or has everyone just rotated around?
Yeah.
That cyclical, forget about it. I mean, to be fair, the higher up they are in terms of culpability for responsibility for what they've done, the more elevated they will become.
Yeah.
More controllable.
It's just unbelievable, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right, mate, I think we'll leave it there on that one. It speaks for itself as usual.
Yeah, come on, Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. Not like that.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
Indeed. All right, good
mate.
stuff.